All right, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, giving our honor, praises, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Raha Kwadash. Double honors due to the apostles, the elders of the great millstone who rule well. Peace, love, salutations, and blessings to the Lord's elect. This is the brother Yeshaya. And I was coming at you with this lesson. As we know, if you've been paying attention to current affairs and things of the news, which a lot of Americans really don't, you know, and if they do, they don't look at it through a spiritual lens as we do. Okay, we call it news and prophecy, or prophecy in the news. So anything that happens in this world, we go straight to the scriptures, and we, decipher which prophecy is taking place. Now, as you can see, Iran will have no choice but to get nukes if attacked, says Kamani advisor. All right. So, there's been ongoing tensions with Iran or Persia and Babylon the Great America. This is not anything new, but it's reaching a certain height to where, World War III is definitely on the cusp, and our brothers are getting excited as we should, because, this is the Lord letting us know that we're getting closer and closer to his son's return, as I'm going to read in 2nd Ezra, the 13th chapter. So without further ado, I'm going to read a little bit of this article, and like I said, filter it through the scriptures. Iran will have no choice but to get nukes if attacked, says Khamenei advisor. Iran complained to the United Nations Security Council on Monday about reckless and belligerent remarks by U.S. President Donald Trump, who threatened Iran on Sunday with bombing and more tariffs if Tehran did not come to an agreement with Washington over its nuclear program. An advisor to the supreme leader warned that Iran will have to acquire a nuclear weapon if attacked by the U.S. or its allies. So, just reading it, I'm pretty sure they already have nukes, but if not, their big brother, big sister Russia has them, and as I'm reading Ezekiel 35, they're going to come together as a conglomerate, Slakia too, burn the whore with fire. Okay, so it's just not going to be Iran, and that's why the prophecy fits here. Let the weak say that I am strong, that we are strong. Okay, let's get that really fast. In the book Jeremiah 50. Yeah, let's see where I'm gonna start at. I think that's in Joel. Yeah, that's Joel 3. But this is good right here. This is Jeremiah 50 and verse 21. Go up against the land of Merathiam. Okay, so right here, Jeremiah is actually talking about, Babylon the Great. Okay. Merathiam, or Mer, America, Mer. All right, that Hebrew word Mar, means bitter, right? So this is, the land of our bitter captivity. Go up against the land of Merathiam, even against it, and against the inhabitants of Pekod, another, code name for America. Now, when, we know that this is before the inception of the actual word America, because the word America, all right, was named after Amerigo Vespucci, as a Italian map maker or whatnot, and they made it feminine by, instead of Amerigo, putting a "ka" on the end, which makes it feminine. So America, and that's why the Lord has it in the scriptures where Babylon the Great, or America, is likened unto a harlot or a woman, okay, a virgin. All right. So, yeah, just a little bit on that. Waste and utterly destroy after them, saith the Lord Yahweh, and do according to all that I have commanded to thee. A sound of battle is in the land, and of great destruction. How is the hammer of the whole earth cut asunder and broken? How is Babylon become a desolation among the nations? All right. So the hammer of the whole earth is about to be broken. Okay. And that hammer represents power. So If you go look right now, currently, you've asked, anyone with a little bit of sense, they will tell you since what, for a while, since I would say the 20s, World War One, two, yeah, right, World War One, they started to come into their power, but basically America is known as the top superpower. Okay, they're the whore that sit upon the beast, which is NATO and EU, that conglomerate. And America is the little horn. America is the main one. That's why it's symbolic that that whore is sitting and riding on that beast. Okay, aka having it in subjection. So America being that well-favored harlot or that mystery Babylon. Okay, yeah, mystery daughter of Babylon is the superpower of the whole earth, right? So that's why the scriptures talk about Babylon becoming, the whole hammer of the earth cut asunder and broken, and Babylon has become a desolation, right? Yep. I have laid a snare for thee, and thou art also taken, O Babylon, and thou was not aware. Thou art found and also caught, because thou hast striven against the Lord Yahweh, Bashem Yahushua. The Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushua have opened his armory and have brought forth the weapons of his indignation. For this is the work of the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushua of hosts in the land of the Chaldeans. So there's another, and that's why, and these descriptions and these code names and nicknames are all talking about one area, and that's Babylon the Great. Okay. You know, so go into the book of Joel chapter 3. This is the book of Joel chapter 3 and verse 9. Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles. Prepare war. Wake up the mighty men. Let all the men of war draw near. Let them come up. And this is what the Lord is doing. Okay. And as the scriptures say, okay, because like I said, we filter everything through prophecy. The beast shall hate the whore. Okay, and this is happening before our eyes, and also, it says, "Prepare war, wake up the mighty men, let all the men of war draw near, let them come up." And the little hats, okay, they're drawing all of these the nations out for war, man. Okay, you know, and this is of course it's America, but America is owned by the little hats, right? So, that's why I say Salaki, hold on. All right. And that's back in Jeremiah 50. All right, the least of the flock shall draw them out, and that's exactly what is going on and what's happening. Okay, so yeah, actually, you know what? I'll grab it since I just left Jeremiah 50. All right, book of Jeremiah 50 and verse 40. 5. Therefore hear ye the counsel of the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushua that he hath taken against Babylon, and his purposes that he hath proposed against the land of the Chaldeans. Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. Surely he shall make their habitation desolate with them. At the noise of the taking of Babylon, the earth is moved, and the cry is heard among the nations. So there you go. All right. So the Lord is setting up Armageddon. Okay. Army of the troops, amount of troops. Okay, in the valley of Yehoshaphat, okay, which is the Lord's judgment, okay, his righteous judgment. So, reading a little bit more of this article, Iran would have to acquire a nuclear weapon if attacked by the United States or its allies, an advisor to the country's supreme leader warned on Monday, following a threat by U.S. President Donald Trump. The comments came after the comments came after Iran's supreme leader, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, proposed to hit back if Trump carried out a threat to bomb the Islamic Republic if it did not make a deal to curb its nuclear program. We are not moving towards nuclear weapons, but if you do something wrong in the Iranian nuclear issue, you will force Iran to move towards That because it has to defend itself. Khamenei's advisor Ali Larijani told State TV. So we're having these talks, man. Okay, these talks, these wars and rumors of wars. Okay, like Yahweh Shah talked about in the book of Matthew, the 24th chapter. Right. Let me go ahead and get it. All right. This is the book of Matthew, chapter 24, and verse 6. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye not be troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. So there you go. All right. And also talks about nuclear weapons being used is definitely a great sign, man, that we're almost out of here. Isaiah 95, for thou hast broken, for every battle of the warriors with confused noise and garments rolled in blood. But this shall be with burning and fuel of fire. So the conventional, wars, I wouldn't say conventional, the traditional wars usually were fought, with ancient warfare or shields, actual swords, spears, things of that nature. But this war to end all wars, which is going to usher in the coming of our Savior in the midst of it in World War III, all right, is more overly going to be uh, fought with nuclear missiles. All right, other missiles too. You got tomahawks, you got all type of missiles, but the nuclear missiles are the most powerful ones that the prophets have talked about in the scriptures using code words. All right, so yeah, uh, let's go back and read a little bit more of this article. Iran does not want to do this, but it will have no choice, he added. If at some point the U.S. moves toward bombing by yourself or through Israel, see, the small hats, all right, you will force Iran to make a difficult decision. So that's what the least of the flock shall bring them out. So that's more than likely is going to happen. The U.S. is going to, attack Iran through Israel. Right? Trump said on Saturday there will be bombing if Iran did not agree a nuclear deal. According to the NBC News, which said he also threatened to punish Tehran with what he calls secondary tariffs. So this guy Trump is going crazy, man. All right, Nero is definitely going wild, you know, as a madman sparing none, right? So yeah, pretty cool article, but I'm gonna get some scriptures. I think that's enough of that article. Let's go to the book of Revelation, chapter 11 and verse 14. The second woe is past, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly. So when you go into the scriptures, Revelation 9, I believe, details World War One. Now there isn't really much about World War Two, if anything, but it goes into World War Three, and the scriptures also talk about World War Three, right? So since we're already here, Revelation 12 and 7, and there was a war in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, and the dragon fought and his angels, and prevailed not, Salakia. Neither was their place found any more in heaven. All right, so when Yahweh Shai comes back, and he with his right hand man Michael, okay, the chief under him, to the angels of the right hand side, okay, it's gonna usher in his or Yahweh Shai's return, man. All right. Like, and that's a beautiful thing. Since I'm over here, Revelation 13, and I stood upon the sand of the sea, and I saw a beast rise up out of the sea, having 7 heads and 10 horns, the NATO and the EU, and upon his horns 10 crowns, okay, simulating power, and upon his heads the name of blasphemy. All right, and the beast which I saw was like unto a leopard, and his feet were as the feet of a bear, and his mouth as the mouth of a lion. And the dragon gave him his power and his seat and great authority. All right, so there you go. You know what I'm saying? Said it has the feet of a bear, okay? Which represents Russia, okay? Lord said that he will put hooks into thy jaws, right? So let's go to the book of Ezekiel, chapter 35, and this also mentions Iran or Persia, as it's once called, and some people still refer to Iran as Persia, right? So that's nothing, That's public knowledge. Ezekiel 35, moreover, the word of the Lord came to me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Mount Seir, and prophesy against it, and say unto it, Thus saith the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, Behold, O Mount Seir, I am against thee, and I will stretch out mine hand against thee, and I will make thee most desolate. I will lay thy cities waste, and thou shalt be desolate, and thou shalt know that I am the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, because thou hast had a perpetual hatred and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity and in the time that their iniquity had an end. All right. Uh, it's like, there we go, Ezekiel 38. And the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Gog and the land of Magog, the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal, and prophesy against him. So it's like I got that mixed up. You know how these bodies are. So Ezekiel 38, all right, it's full effect. Now, when you go to the land of Magog, all right, because it's not Gog and Magog, it's Gog, the land of Magog, right? So Magog is that land area or that landmass known as Russia, all right? Yeah, you know, and then Meshach and Tubal, all right, that used to be was the Japhetics land, okay? After the great flood, all right, the Lord set up Ham in his perspective area, set up, you know, Shem, okay, and the Japhetic people, okay, after the flood in their perspective area, and their lands were Europe, you know, including the land of Gog, aka Russia. That's why they mentioned Meshach and Tubal. And say, Thus saith the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, Behold, I am against thee, O Gog, the chief prince of Meshach and Tubal, and I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaws. Okay, so that's talking about, you know, that bear, okay, known as the Russia, which basically symbolizes the Lord putting the spirit that they had back in the Cold War and the World War One era, all right, which was why the U.S. and the NATO was actually the NATO and the EU was actually incepted or built to be a defense from the USSR. So it's coming back into that type of spirit, right? And I will bring thee forth in all thine army, horses and horsemen, all of them clothed with all sorts of armor, even a great company with bucklers and shields, all of them handling swords. Persia, which is Iran, Ethiopia, Africa, Libya with them, all of them with shield and helmet. So they're going to click up with Russia being, you know, the head. They're going to click up these lesser nations and cleave onto Russia and, you know, of course, China and all of those to destroy the horde, man, which is Babylon the Great America. Gomer and all his bands, the house of Tergamar on the north quarters and all his bands, and many people with thee. So there you go, you know, and that's talking about Turkey and that area, Syria and all that. Be thou prepared and prepare for thyself, thou and all thy company that are assembled unto thee, and be thou a guard unto them. So that's exactly what, you know, the Lord's going to put the spirit on Russia to do, okay? And it's happening right before our eyes. So, and this is the last one of my favorite scriptures or chapters that to visualize, okay, when reading it. Because just as the Apostle Gabar always states, man, you have to really be into this thing and really visualize what you're reading, you know. And this is one of my favorite ones. All right, 2 Esdras 13. This is about Yahushua coming back in the midst of World War III. And it came to pass after 7 days, I dreamed a dream by night. And lo, there arose a wind from the sea, and it moved all the ways thereof. And I beheld, and lo, that man waxed strong with the thousands of heaven. Okay, that's Yahushua and his angels. And when he turned his countenance to look, all the things trembled that were seen under him. So he's going to come back as a fierce angelic power, not how he left as a man. And whensoever the voice went out of his mouth, all they burnt that heard his voice, like as the earth falleth when he filleth the fire. So not only is going to be directing those nuclear missiles, but the chariots are going to be spitting concentrated fire with, I believe, you know, the equal or, of course, the more power than a thermonuclear missile. But the Lord is going to have his anger and his spirit in him as well. So, hey, it's going to be it's going to be one for the ages, man, literally. Right. And whosoever the voice went out, Verse 5, and after this I beheld, and lo, there were gathered together a multitude of men out of number from the four winds of the heaven to subdue the man that came out of the sea. So anybody that's part of the military, you know, military industrial complex, you know, to from, you know, your top generals down to your privates. All right. E1s and stuff like that. Hey, if y'all are still a part of this military when all this goes down, you're gonna be seen to be as an enemy to Yahweh Shah. But I beheld, and lo, he had graved himself up a great mountain and flew upon it. But I would have seen the region or place whereout the hill was graven, and I could not. So Yahweh Shah is going to be coming back illustrious, man, in his travailing in his strength on a chariot, the fathership, right? And after this I beheld, and lo, all they were gathered together to subdue him, were sore afraid, and yes, durst fight. So the Lord's gonna have to put the spirit, just as you got a tiger that catches a mouse, right? There's no threat. There's no, there's no pursuit. It's just you can play with your food, so to say. You see a mouse or a cat just, knock a mouse around before it eats it and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Just to give itself a fight. That's inevitably what Yahweh Shah is going to do. All right. And lo, he saw the violence of the multitude that came. He neither lifted up his hand, nor held sword, nor any instrument of war. But only I saw that he sent out of his mouth as it been a blast of fire, and out of his lips a flaming breath, and out of his tongue he cast out sparks and tempests. And that's why, we love these scriptures, because it's written in such a way that you have to have the Rakah HaKodash to be able to understand it, or it's going to bug you out, or you're going to just think that, this is a fairy tale, which is not. All right, the Lord's Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, ways are higher than our ways. The Lord said his ways are higher than our ways. His thoughts are higher than our thoughts. Just as the earth is, yeah, just as the heavens are higher than the earth, so are my thoughts. Roughly paraphrasing Salakia. But yeah, you get the point. So yeah, he's going to be directing these chariots, okay, to emit concentrated fire along with the thermonuclear missiles. Verse 11: They all were mixed together, the blast of fire, the flaming breath, and the great tempest, and fell with violence upon the multitude which were prepared to fight. All right, and burned them up every one. So everyone that's a part of this military, and you're going to be found as a enemy of Yahweh Shai, you're going to get totally destroyed. All right, to fight and burn them up every one, so that upon a sudden of an innumerable multitude, nothing was to be perceived, but only dust and smell of smoke. When I saw this, I was afraid. Afterward saw I the same man come down from the mountain, and call unto him a notable, peaceable multitude. So that's the rest of the elect, right? So yeah, Lord willing, that was edifying. I'm gonna end it with that. World War III is on the cusp. Get ready, repent. Hey, it's gonna be a crazy year, man. So hey, we're just in April, so hey, just stay tuned, be circumspect, right? So, ending it with that, giving our honor, praises, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Rakha, HaKodash. Double honors due to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, and peace, love, salutations, blessings to the Lord.